I'm going to call the committee of the whole to order at 6:08. My apologies. I would like to acknowledge that we are on the Mi'kmaq, the traditional territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Everybody's present, no regrets. Additions to the agenda.
Yes, so I have one item to remove, so we'll remove new business number 1. And I would like to add a new business number 2, the new council orientation and training in Halifax. Okay.
Any other additions? Approval of the agenda by unanimous consent.
Yep.
Approval of the committee of the whole minutes, committee of the whole minutes from September the 4th, 2024. Any adjustments or changes on that?
No.
Hearing none, I will approve those by unanimous consent, and we have our presentations or public input. So unfinished business, recreational structure fee.
No.
So we are looking for.
If we start with the motion, we can start with the motion.
Sure.
We had talked about this at
Yes.
the September COW meeting,
Yeah.
and then had to defer it.
Yeah, and the information's in that,
First.
yeah, request for decision.
So can I have a motion on this to start? For discussion?
Yeah, I would make the motion that council approve the fee structure. $130 per one session for a week. Does that make sense? 65, okay, 65 half year where offered. $160 for 2 sessions per week. $80 half year. $200 for 3 sessions per week. Or $100 for a half year.
Second, please.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't think you were. I will.
Okay, we'll open up for discussions.
Yeah, so I disagree with the increase in the rates for recreation. I had talked about this last month at the committee of the whole meeting. I made my feelings known then, and so I don't agree with it.
Any discussion?
I'll say the motion is a little bit unclear, but I guess that's just the nature of the beast. When we discussed this at our last committee of the whole meeting, I voiced dissent as well. I think what we should be aiming for instead is increased participation. We're seeing that already with the growth of particularly of pickleball, which is bringing increased revenue for recreation. I think getting more people involved by keeping the fees low is a better alternative. The kind of money we're looking at here for increasing the fees for our overall budget is probably insignificant. It would be better off aiming for more people.
I was for the fees, still for the fees. It's a user-based system. Those that are using it are making, that's part of the cost. And if we're going to maintain that facility, then the user should be contributed to it. And to be honest with you, if we need to look at something else for those that can't afford it, then I think that's a program that the rec department should develop on the side. But as for user pay, I think it's extremely low, even with the increases that we're proposing. So I'm fully for having the user pay situation offset the costs and the cleaning and capital costs that'll come with the floors and everything else that will do to that facility.
Yeah, and I agree. I hate to see, of course, an increase in anything with the cost of living now, but to keep the facility running. Every little bit will help. And there are programs in place, I think, for people now that are struggling and still want to use the facility, so, which I think is great. But yes, I would love to see an increase in use as well, of course.
Amy, do you want to say anything on it, or?
I agree with the fee increase as well.
Okay, any further comments? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Against?
Nay,
Noted, you want me noted in the,
yes, please.
okay, motion is passed. The next item on the list was concern deers.
So 2 Bs.
The deer.
So I just did some quick research on different towns around the province. Have included that in your package, and my suggestion would be that the new council of the day look into setting up a task team with members of the public to decide which direction they want to move forward with on a path. It's one of those tricky subjects, but needs to be dealt with.
Yeah, it's a sensitive subject. I agree.
It's a highly risk oriented subject too, so I think it is definitely something that has to be looked at.
And apparently we're not the only area that's struggling with the deer
Population, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so we're just gonna leave that as is, and then we'll leave it on the agenda?
Well, we'll put it on the agenda to set up a task team and maybe reach out to the public to see who's interested. And sitting on the task team and then bringing that forward, and they can do some research over the winter, and maybe we can have something to, by spring.
It's good. It came up at the candidates meeting last night too, so
Yeah.
it's very timely.
Great.
There was somebody that was on
Yeah.
the table. Okay, request for decision on the removal of town hall dormer.
So the contractor has been working on the roof all week. They started on Monday. Brought to our attention that the dormer on the front right above us here is really close to the chimney. So they said that they couldn't guarantee that the flashing, because of the close proximity to the dormer and the chimney, to get the flashing done right. So they're asking us if they could remove just that one dormer.
Comments?
So, okay, so they've started.
Yeah.
What about the rest of the dormers? Have they had a look at them? Are they able to guarantee that there won't be any leakage, leaving them up? Yeah.
Yeah, so they now that they've got them kind of tore apart and looked, now they're only on the side, kind of in the front,
Mhm.
so they haven't looked at every one yet, but they're looking like. And I can't say they're gonna be within budget because we reached out to them twice today and haven't got back to us. But so far, so good.
Okay. Okay. So just one and
So this one's on the
straight.
front side of this side? Or no, that's-
It's on this side of the building.
Yeah, there's a
You can see it's
picture.
right next to the chimney.
The one looks a little weird because it's really, really close to the chimney. It's always been that way.
Yeah,
Why they put one so close to the chimney sort of doesn't seem to make any sense.
I think the chimney probably came after.
I was gonna say the chimney.
Because the chimney would have been through this place before. This looks like a newer chimney. I'm just thinking it might have been, yeah.
It does, except for the oldest photo that I've seen of the town hall with the dormers, which probably dates from the late 20s, early 30s, has the chimney right beside the
So it
dormer.
has a roof out there, okay, and it was in the 80s that they went in, right? Or sorry, 80 years ago that went in.
Based on the latest, again, this earliest photo that I've seen, it looks like it's the late 20s.
Okay.
So it was actually getting
So
closer to
even more
100
than,
years.
yeah, closer to 100 years. Oh, wow, yeah.
It's been there, but it seems like a weird location for one.
Well, when we talked about the dormers as a whole, like the other dormers as well, I was against the removal of them because I felt that they were character defining elements, but this one doesn't seem to be, and it's been quoted that it is not a character defining element. And it's so close to the chimney, difficult to rebuild. So I think I'm in favor of it being removed, this particular one.
This project was to secure the roof over the regards to the dormers. That's just a historical feature. The main purpose was to make sure the roof wasn't leaking. If this is gonna be an issue where they can't do the roof, I'm for it to be removed.
I don't think it's a question if they can't do the roof, you know, the dormer has been there for 100 years and other roofing companies have been able to properly flash it so it doesn't leak. I'm not sure what that is, it's just, it is more difficult and the character defining dormers are just the ones on the north side, correct?
Apparently, yes.
I think they,
What is the designation for the building?
I can't remember, because it was a couple, like
The
months
ones on
ago.
the side are
Yeah.
not.
But yeah, in Ken's report, it says that this one is not a character defining element. Yeah.
Okay, so can I have a motion on the table for the removal of the town hall dormer?
I move that council approves the removal of the south side front dormer to preserve the integrity of the new roof.
Can I have a seconder for that, please?
I'll second.
And then I guess this is further discussion. Anybody have any further discussion on that? All those in favor of the removal? Aye. Against? Hearing none, the motion has been approved. New business, so 2022-23 FCI.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, Thor.
So as you've mentioned, these are the FCIs from 2 years ago. So overall, they're still saying we are not in good shape, that it's a high consideration risk to our financial stability. Not sure what you can do 2 years later. To change that, but hopefully, we've always have the one red box which is the Nova Scotia Power. But we do have more yellow indicators, this year than usual. We usually have more green, so. I have asked, the province will come and, talk to the new council, on our FCIs, and they're planning on changing. One of the restrictions is asking for a 3-year change in the tax base. So they'll come and explain that new addition to the 3-year, as well when they come.
Yeah, because our accounting treatment is different too. When we get grant money for capital, it comes in and it's showing up as operating money coming in. So that's a big issue right there. So yeah, I think, but still there's a new council coming in. So it's something that somebody's gonna have to spend some time with for sure.
Yeah, because it does,
Yeah.
we shouldn't be spending more than we're bringing in taxes, and that's what it's looking like
Yeah.
from the last couple of years, but we are bringing in for different projects. Like even this year, we'll probably get dinged because we got the paving project, and so we're bringing in 205,000 out of our reserves to do into the operating, and then that'll show 410,000 over that we spent that we didn't use tax money, right? But so I just wanted to, follow up with this council that this is what we received.
I think we're making smart financial decisions, regardless of what it says. It was, I guess, nice to see that our percentage of tax revenue coming from Nova Scotia Power has gone down.
It has, yeah.
So our dependence is not quite so great. Got a little ways to go yet.
Just another 16%.
But all in all, it didn't look too troubling.
Is it possible to reply to the comment on that? It's 2 years ago, so we're making a comment on something that was 2 years ago anyways, these numbers are 2 years old.
Correct.
But I think it'll be worth a future council's response, because Melanie did talk about there could be a requirement for the town to produce a plan. Now, it's not, the town doesn't have multiple plans, I don't think it'd be hard responding to it, but I think, yes, there should be a response. And the fact that this comes out so late is.
Well, you made the comment earlier about the way that we generate funds. That's not always on the tax base burden.
Right,
So,
so they complain that we have too much in government revenues coming in, but our target is 40-60. That is the plan. The plan is, so you're right, Michael, yeah.
So I mean, that would be the comment I was thinking of, is that you're not taking this into the picture, and that should be.
Yeah.
We are unique and we are very good at that, so.
And the other thing is the accounting treatment, there might be something there, because apparently the way we record incoming revenues, it's capital money, by showing them in operating. There could be some accounting issues of our own that we just need to understand better, and there might be another way of accounting for some of that money, at least the capital stuff. So, but yeah, it's gonna take somebody to take a look at this.
Any other comments? All right, well, and you had the new one there for,
Yes, so since we have a basically new council coming in, there's new council orientation in Halifax on November 4th and 5th. And I would like to request permission to also attend the conference. Just so I am aware of what everybody's hearing, and so when they bring it back to the table, I'm kind of in the know of what's going on. And then I would also be able to be there with some of them to introduce them to different members of, you know, the municipality or the surrounding towns. So I'm requesting a motion to support my attendance. I couldn't find the conference center they're having at the Halifax Convention Center. I'm not sure what hotels they're getting deals for, because that hasn't been released yet, at least that I could find today. So I'm just asking the approximate cost with mileage, meals, the conference is $800.
That's for your cost, or is it for all of the
And
councillors?
that's just for me to
And then
attend.
the councillors will pay their own way.
No, that's in the budget already.
Okay.
For,
so this is the overage on that budget, is that why you're having for a motion?
Yeah, because I wasn't planning on going.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then when I was talking to the other CAOs, I had a meeting today in Lawrencetown with Lawrencetown, Middleton and the county. And it was kind of suggested that maybe to be there is a good idea.
Well, the brand new council that are brand new to everything, it's,
Yeah.
well, it's a wise idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, guiding hand, I think. Okay, so I need a motion to approve the overage on that. Do we have a line?
I will move that council approve CAO Millet Campbell to attend the new councillor orientation training on November 4th and 5th, 2024 in Halifax for an approximate cost of $800.
Seconder, please.
A second.
Any further discussion on it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion's been carried.
We're sending it to Halifax.
Yeah. It
It's a good idea.
is a good idea.
Big city.
So I have, the next thing on line is correspondence, which is a thank you letter.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Really nice.
She's very thoughtful.
It is a very lovely lady.
Yeah, from our town crier, yeah.
Thank you, Christine.
She's in France right now.
She is, yeah, that's why she wanted the letter on the agenda, was they very able to attend.
Yeah.
And since we're on the thank you kind of subject, this will be my last meeting with this council, so I would like to also to thank council for all your hard work and dedication to the residents of Annapolis Royal. The time spent serving on council has made an impact for its residents, and I would like to thank you personally for each one for the time you have spent working together over the years. think back to the time when we started in the pandemic.
Oh,
Right?
Yeah.
And we made it through
Oh,
into the sunny days of 2024. And I hope you've also enjoyed working with the staff here.
Absolutely.
very much.
So,
Yes.
Yeah,
Great
Thank you.
staff.
and the previous staff as well, who are with us today.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been great.
It's been the highlight.
Okay, then I need motion to go into camera. I